Good morning. Our opinions have to evolve over time. They have to. And the problem we've got is that your opinions, my opinions, are all based upon that very, very early stage of life when we looked up to our mums and dads. And I'm not saying we shouldn't do. Of course, we should do. Our mums and dads are our protectors, are they're the people who help us survive and give to us, and obviously. So therefore, we put their opinions on a pedestal, or most people do, depending on your parents and stuff. And the problem is with that is that my mum and dad, they're based a lot of their opinions on their mum and dad, and their mum and dad based a lot of opinions on their mum and dad. But if you look back, what was acceptable 150 years ago, then it's not acceptable now. For example, I'll give you one quick example. I'll give you two examples. So obviously the most extreme one is the Holocaust. I'm reading a book about it now, and so that's why it's come front to mind. It was horrendous. But in Germany at that time, that was acceptable. I mean, how the hell is that acceptable? I'm not saying their parents thought it was acceptable. It was just, it's so interesting. During COVID, when I'm unvaccinated, I don't want to be vaccinated. There's a whole host of reasons why I don't want to be vaccinated. However, I'm not gonna think bad of anybody who is vaccinated. However, you can see how you can see how the Holocaust happened, because and it's I know you're going to be, well, you're comparing the Holocaust now, vaccinated, unvaccinated. No, it's not like that. I'm comparing the steps, how it went. And all of a sudden, we were getting hate by being unvaccinated, and we were the problem in comma marks, whatever, speech marks. We were the problem. And in some places, you weren't allowed in if you weren't vaccinated. That's what I was going to start doing. In Australia and New Zealand, you're not allowed into coffee shops if you're unvaccinated. You weren't allowed on the airplane if you're unvaccinated. And it was literally us and them. It's not like the Jews at all are like that. I don't want to say it's exactly that at all, but you can certainly see some very small similarities between that. And it was just almost like, I went to football once and somebody told me it was only joking, but many a true word is said in jest. He told me I couldn't actually sit down in the where there was all sat because I was a dirty unvaccinated. I'm like, it's a joke. Yes, it's a joke, but where's the joke come from? And many a true word is said in jest. So was it a joke? Was it not a joke? It probably was a joke, to be fair, because he's a very jokey guy. But who knows? And the amount of people who looked at you differently because you was unvaccinated. Now, I think most people are questioning the vaccine. Not most people. A lot more than ever have done before, questioning the vaccine. And if I get banned for this podcast. But my point is that we've got to question. We've always got to question our views. Where do our views come from? Are they really our views, or are they views from others when we was in a very, very young age, when we could have not been manipulated, but we could have been sculptured and sculpted, I think it's the word, into forming opinions that we look up to people, and therefore our opinions is their opinions. So a lot of the time, when somebody gives an opinion, it's not their opinion. If you dig a little bit deeper, it's the opinions of their mums and dads. So, for example, if we look at politics, conservatives. If you're a conservative, it likely is that your mum and dad was a conservative. If you're a Labour Party, it's likely the fact that your mum and dad were Labour Party, because it goes in cycles, because your opinions, their opinions, etc. And by the way, I'm not political at all. I don't know anything about politics. I don't want to waste my time on something that I can't have an impact on. I would much rather focus my time on something I can have an impact on, like my family, my health, and also my business. I don't have time. I'm not going to make an excuse and say that I'm successful or not successful by what party are in the country or in the leadership role. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got time. Don't want to do it. I'm not interested. But that's complete. But what? Oh, wait a second. My mum and dad aren't interested in politics either. So there we go. Is that my view or is it not my view? I don't know. And so what I want everyone to do is question their opinions. Where did they come from? Because we have to evolve over time. And another example I was going to give you was there's two shops that I know that sold gollywogs. And one shop only up until recently took out the gollywog. How? That was acceptable in years gone by. It is not acceptable now. I don't know how the hell that was acceptable before. And so we've got to keep evolving as people, as humans, as just humans, as people. We've got to keep evolving all the time and keep evolving. The way we do that is by questioning our opinions. Where do our opinions come from? And question our opinions, assumptions, because they might not be your assumptions or opinions. They might be from somebody else. And it might not even be from that somebody. That somebody might be influenced by somebody else. And so we've got to question it all the time. Opinions, and where it's such a complicated thing. I listened to this podcast about it, about where our opinions come from. This doctor was talking about it, and it is so interesting how we derive at our opinions and where they come from. And a lot of the time it's based on our history. It's based on somebody else's worldviews that we look up to. We base our opinion on what their opinion is because we look up to them. Anyway, so I just thought it was something interesting for Thoughtful Friday to take away for the weekend. Right, my friends, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm going to go back to reading my book about the Holocaust. Oh my God, is it horrible? Do you know, quickly before I go, I won't listen to it because I feel like it's history and it's part of just of the world that's passed. But I hate reading it because it literally could send you into tears every single time you listen to it. And you just can't imagine what has gone on. I'll say the book, by the way, because it's a wonderful book. Here we go. It's a great book. The Escape Artist. It really is. It's fantastic, but it's so upsetting as well. So if you want to learn more about the Holocaust and history, then it is definitely worth reading. But if you don't want to be upset, then it's definitely not worth reading, because every single time you read it, you're like, oh. But I feel like it's my duty to read it because, again, it's about opinions evolving, and we've all got to evolve. Otherwise, then we're stuck in World War I, World War II, and all the atrocities that went on previously as well. All the stupid battles that we've had, wars, and it's just arguments and fights, and hopefully in the future we can evolve. And I don't know, hopefully there'll be no more war. But I listened to another podcast that said there will always be a war because of human nature. Anyway, I'm off. Thoughtful Friday. As you can tell, I'm thinking too much. See you soon. Love you. Appreciate you. Bye.